Excellent. So what can you tell me about myofascial release? What is that?
So this one, myofascial release, I definitely use a lot for the techniques for the treatment. First of all, what is fascia? So fascia is a thin layer or of connective tissue under the skin. Under the skin, they surround body parts from organs to muscle to blood vessels. They just surround everything there. And then it also encloses a group of structure of the body, separate them and connects them everywhere in our body. So it's just kind of connecting from one area to the next because of how broad it is. And then one fascial dysfunction on one area can actually affect the other side of one fascial line or a neighboring fascia. Yeah, so like imagine a nice shirt that's flat and nice, and then you have a dysfunction on one side of the jacket or something. So that grease creates, that's kind of how you imagine the fascia can go all the way down to your foot. Or, right? So it just sometimes tension here can go on your same side, sometimes go on the other side, or the opposite. It depends on how your body moves and how you use your body, how you compensate. So yeah, it can run along to your body.
So one issue on one part of your body can affect the exact opposite.
Yes.
Wow.
And then that's what we kind of trace, right? So like with all this fascial, you just keep on listening. Hey, where am I gonna be? Like, where's the restriction there? We're gonna treat that and release that and help out that whole fascial system that we have. There's a lot of systems in our body that needs to just normalize.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, so actually then, so the myofascial release is just light manual therapy that focusing on just releasing fascial tension with light amount of pressure to affect that whole fascial system.
So the myofascial release is straightening that jacket.
Yes, I like that.
And what is visceral manipulation?
Yes, not a lot of people kind of know this treatment, and it's really interesting, and it just helps a lot in my manual osteopathic career with this treatment as well. So viscera actually means organs, and visceral manipulation is a manual, specific, gentle, very very gentle. Organs are gentle, so it's a very gentle therapy that works through the body's visceral system, like an organ system. So it promotes normal mobility, tone, and natural tissue motion of the organ, their connective tissue. So viscera may affect other areas of the body where functionality can be affected and cause pain. Actually, we call it a visceral somatic reflex. So from an organ, like say a liver can have a visceral somatic reflex to about your right shoulder or your right neck. So that's the one. So that is actually to explain that. Say example, and particular and happy organ, right? So say the liver, it sends signal to our brain, right, through our nervous system. And then, hey, I'm not well here, right? It's not gonna be in pain on your liver, but it's gonna send signal to our brain. I'm not well here. The brain will send signal to the specific level of the spine and to the muscle that's kind of supplying to that level of spine that, hey, you're not well here too. So you just kind of keep on signaling there. So that's why sometimes after trying so many times to massage an area, say your right shoulder, and then it just doesn't respond like anything. I've had that before, just tried everything, and then maybe there's a unhappy organ somewhere in your body that needs some treatment and freedom, I would say.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a client that suddenly just have a right shoulder pain, and then get to the liver and work there, and it's gone. So it's nice to find the cause of it, right? And there you go, and it just never came back again. So just a little unhappy liver for her, and they're able to treat her. Yeah, so I've been mentioning in the past videos that we move a lot because movement is health, right? So it is a sign of life, and our body moves. So as our organ, they have their own little movement. So when they don't get that movement that they need, they will get distressed, dry out, right? So sometimes inflammation to the tissue or organ can be the factor, or which is caused by infections, direct trauma, repetitive movement, even that, right? It can affect that right shoulder thing, can affect that liver over there, the diet, environmental toxins, and even emotional stress because of the nervous system, because visceral system is affecting the nervous system. So yeah, that all of that is very interesting system of our body.
That's fascinating. I had no idea how interconnected all of our systems are.
Yes, definitely they need to. And then actually the cranial osteopathy is the one that's next treatment. Talks about the nervous system too. So we wanted to affect that so nice working central nervous system. So actually the CNS is what it called. So it actually controls most function of the body and mind. So, and then it consists of two parts, the brain and then the spinal cord. So central nervous system is greatly affected by craniosacral system. This is what we work on with cranial osteopathy. That's also the one treatment that we do. So yeah, working with the skull here. And then so CNS is actually greatly affected by our craniosacral system. The membranes and the fluids that surrounds, protect and nurture the brain and spinal cord. So this kind of very, very related. So our body is actually, subjected to stress and strain every day, right? So resulting in compensatory dysfunction. So our body constantly compensate and protect our own. So that's just how that's how our body do. So these changes usually cause body tissues to tighten and affect the craniosacral system, the one that's mentioned, from the head and then to the hip. So that's the point there, which cause tension to form around the brain and spinal cord because they're just kind of protecting each other. Then it just causes restriction. So what happens next is obstructing the healthy function of the central nervous system and all other systems that work with it. So like the visceral system that we just mentioned, the fascial system, right? The skeletal, the muscular system, everything is just getting affected if our CNS, the central nervous system, is affected. So cranial osteopathy is a very, very good. I like this treatment because it's very subtle and it's just work with our CNS. So good thing is with that cranial osteopathy, simple and subtle touch to the cranial bones, the head and then the sacrum, the hip area, will be, is used to identify and correct such limitation that's caused from all that stresses, right? And to our tissues. So by balancing the structure around the brain and the spinal cord, it can actually enhance the body's ability to correct itself and can help with several dysfunctions and chronic pain.
Wow.
Probably.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's why it's like all this, you're just not working on the muscular system. That's not, it's about all these different systems that need to balance out, needs to work, help each other so that you have a nice balanced body.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I can see why you're so passionate about this therapy.
Yes, I totally love this treatment and would just like to talk about every client that's coming in. Yeah, and then of course, there's sorry.
That's okay. Do you want me to ask that one?
Okay.
What about manual lymphatic treatment?
Yeah, so this manual lymphatic treatment, actually, the lymphatic system is usually overlooked. It's but it has a substantial influence into our immune system. We didn't kind of realize that. So the inflammatory process with healing will depend on efficient lymphatic drainage. So we have a nice lymphatic system, immune system will, we have a nice immune system. We can repair and heal our own. bones. So that's also a big part of for osteopathy. So manual lymphatic treatment is a form of gentle massage that encourages the movement of lymph fluid around the body. So it is important to make sure all lymph nodes are unlocked to promote healthy lymph flow by taking the restrictions either from the hip joint, the shoulder, and other locations of the lymph in our body. So working with that as well can help with other systems that connect to our central nervous system.
So once you manipulate the lymphatic system, what happens to all that fluid that's in the body?
So it just making a nice route to where it needs to dump and nice flowing. So we just wanted to keep it moving.
Okay, that's fascinating. And how can I get started on manual osteopathic therapy?
So if you have a new pain or pain that's been there for a while, past injury, you have sleep disturbance due to stress or pain related, and even all the other like pain that you're just curious about how to get rid of it, right? TMJ, hip, neck, shoulder pain, so all of that. If you feel your body is out of balance and it doesn't feel right, so if you have digestive issues, any chronic undiagnosed issue, come get a manual osteopathic therapy. This might be the treatment that can help you and see what changes it does to your body.
Wow, that's so fascinating. I love learning about this.
Yes.
Thank you so much for teaching us.
Thank you.
That's all the time that we have for you today. If you enjoyed today's content, please hit the like button and subscribe so you can see all of our videos. And Liana, how can we book in for our manual osteopathic therapy? So please call us at 780-569-3838, or you can always book online at healingpointmassage.ca. Look for the manual osteopathic therapy there when you book. Excellent. All right, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks so much.